Is Uber a healthy company? Does Uber contribute positively or negatively to public health?
John Quelch is here. He is the Dean of the University of Miami Business School.
Let's bring in our guest, John Quelch, who is the Dean of the Miami Business School at the University of Miami.
So it's a very interesting question, because on the consumer health front, first thing you get into is, are fewer consumers who are drunk driving cars at night? Are people safer on the roads as a result of Uber drivers being readily available 24/7? Alternatively, are Uber drivers well trained enough? Do they get into more accidents per miles driven than regular drivers or taxi drivers? So that's an example of how you might analyze the consumer health component. The employee health component, there's been a lot of controversy around that in terms of, well, Uber drivers don't get health benefits, so are they at risk? On the other hand, Uber drivers are very entrepreneurial, and they're able, through driving Uber cars, to essentially be in charge of their own day-to-day life. You know, they're supplementing their income in some cases. All of that is making for perhaps increased mental and physical health on the part of them and their families. So that's the employee health impact issue. Environmental health, you got the obvious question. A lot of Uber cars hanging around all over the place waiting for rides. Are they actually adding to or detracting from carbon emissions? Might people walk or take fewer trips if the Uber drivers weren't readily available? On the other hand, Uber drivers are on demand. They're not trolling the streets like taxi drivers, burning up fuel, and so maybe the net result is environmentally positive. Final issue on community health. You know, that's a more difficult one, but Uber drivers obviously are employed, self-employed, but coming out of particular communities. In many cases, probably communities that are not that well off, though obviously there has to be enough money there for them to be able to own a car to be able to perform this service. Is the overall health of the families that Uber drivers are coming from enhanced or disadvantaged as a result of their work, especially if they're driving at odd hours and are away from their families? I just give you these examples to show you how interesting this question is and how it can be applied to any company or any organization. And you can have a really fun debate as to whether or not your company, as I've just illustrated with Uber, is public health neutral, positive, or negative. And I and my co-author, Emily Boudreau, we make this very clear in our book, Building a Culture of Health, a New Imperative for Business.